Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. Q, we're going to dive it right to you first. Are the Dallas Cowboys pretenders or contenders?
They're like right in between. Like right in between. Because before the Trayvon Diggs injury and the 49ers loss, it was pretty much consensus that they were one of the best teams in the league. They lost a number one corner. If they find a way, if they sneak and go get a PS2, I know like he's the hot name at corner. If they sneak and go get a PS2, they're right back where they started with basically the best corner in the league.
I do want to quickly say because again another conversation me and my Dallas Cowboy barbers had yesterday.
Jerry Jones talking
Jerry
about
Jones said,
yeah,
we're not entering trading talk. So yeah,
he
likes his team, Nick. He likes his team. He likes.
That sounds all too familiar.
He likes. Look, he said he will listen to the offers, but he won't pick up the phone. Nobody's calling the Cowboys to trade you a player or trade for one of your players. Nobody's, unless you're putting Micah Parsons on the market, nobody's gonna pick up and call for you. You have to go out. You're the GM. And the problem with Jerry Jones is he falls in love too much with his guys, whether it be the players he drafted or the people in his organization that he's
sounds all too familiar.
Like, don't get Stephen Jones cool. Stephen Jones cool. He's there sometimes. Like when he knows it's a dumb pick, he'll come in there like, hey, listen, we're not doing that, and you need that. But like sometimes you need another voice. You don't need a bunch of yes men in your organization because you running the thing and you want whatever. That's probably why Mike McCarthy's there. You feel me? Because Mike McCarthy's not really gonna push back.
Nope.
Same reason why Jimmy John for me they got pushed out.
Yeah, that's the same reason why Jason Garrett was there for over a decade, I think.
He was their quarterback. He'd been there, and he just pulls him up.
Puppet. He was the puppet. No disrespect to Jason Garrett, but he was the puppet. And listen, he's living a good life now on TV where he can do the criticizing and doesn't have to be criticized anymore.
Facts.
He's never coming back to coaching, by the way. Now, why would you leave that job? You get to do the criticizing and not be criticized anymore. And stay where you are. But Q is 100%. I talked about it. If you're familiar with the show, you know my thoughts on the Cowboys. When the season was starting, the Dallas Cowboys were winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you definitely did. I remember that too.
They were. And listen, they were. And they were on track. And then guess what? Trevon Diggs, their heart and soul and their best cornerback and second best defensive player, tore his ACL. They absolutely were emotionally distraught, went into Arizona with their hearts heavy, got their asses handed to them. And then they went up against the 49ers and got their asses handed to them once again, even worse that time, though. And it showed you where they were. It showed you without Trevon Diggs, that defense is just not the same. Gilmore, I love Gilmore, but obviously I said this earlier too. The athleticism's not there anymore. He plays more with his head than his body because he's not that athletically gifted anymore. And that's why he was the great number 2 to Trevon Diggs. Now you're asking him to be the 1. I know Bland to step up, but Bland is not Trevon Diggs, guys. He's just not, okay? I know he's got some picks, but he's not Diggs. Diggs is a top 5 corner in my opinion. And I've always said, if I'm building the franchise and you ask me who I want as my number 1 cornerback, go give me Trevon Diggs. That's who I want. You got Micah Parsons. I love Micah. Top 3 defender in all of football with TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, and Myles Garrett. We got to start talking about Myles Garrett in that conversation. We really, really do.
Absolutely.
He is that dude. But we've seen so many times Micah not show up in big games. We've seen so many times when you run at Micah, he kind of doesn't come up big. He's even spoken on before after the Niners game. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, or even a couple of years ago. He said, my body was sore for 2 weeks. You don't say that.
Because he's not built like that. Like, yeah, remember.
But I get that. But you don't let that be known to the public. You don't say that because then guess what? Every team looks at it and says, oh, we can get this guy. If we're physical with him, we can get them. And that's the Cowboys. They're not a physically imposing team. They're a little more finesse than physicality. That's why Derrick Henry has been mentioned in trades. You get that physical running back. That's why DeAndre Hopkins has been mentioned in trades too with them because Brandon Cooks hasn't lived up. I think
that Tennessee Titans team needs to go, bro.
The Tennessee Titans team is keep blowing up. They keep blowing up everything, man. What's going on here, man, with the Titans, man? They keep fucking trading all these
Cowboys. The Cowboys, it's like the media has to harp on them a lot because you see them lose basically a trap game to the Arizona Cardinals, and everybody like, oh my gosh, it's a bad team. They should have won. And then they lose to the 49ers, in bad fashion. Basically, clearly the 49ers have Dak's number. From it, it's not because the Cowboys are a bad team. They just have the formula on Dak and the Cowboys because again they're not physical. But like when other teams lose in such fashion, they don't have the same like reaction. Like we saw the Eagles lose to the Jets or 3 Jalen Hurts interceptions, like basically in the fourth quarter. Nothing is cool. We'll get over it. We've seen the 49ers lose 2 games back to back, late game trailing, can't get ahead because and everybody, they had an injury. They missed the kick, but the discourse is still the same. The 49ers are still the best team in the NFC. Why?
Yeah.
You've seen the Dallas Cowboys lose a game horrible that they weren't supposed to win. Weren't supposed to lose, and they dealing with injuries. Yeah. Same thing with the 49ers, but it's just not the same. Especially the Cowboys are still 4-2. It's not like the Cowboys are 2-4 or 3-3 and they underachieving. Like they're still right there in the mix. And on them winning the division is still possible because the Eagles' schedule compared to the Dallas Cowboys schedule, Dallas should win more games than the Eagles, especially since the Eagles have to face Dallas twice. Yeah. And the Eagles don't just run over Dallas. Dallas beats the Eagles more than Dak really beats the Eagles more than they would beat him.
Yeah, the last 3 games, I'm pretty sure he's played some of his best games of his career.
Yeah, he beats the Eagles. Yeah. Even if they split, the Eagles still got to face a way tougher road. They got the Bills, they got the Chiefs. They can pretty much lose the division by a game, and now the Cowboys got that spot. So if they find a way, they can possibly still be contenders. But I'm gonna still stay in between. I'm gonna see what happens after the trade deadline. Hopefully they make a move, and then I can really assess them. If they don't make any moves, then they're just who they are. They're going to be a divisional round, playoff team. And that's it.
Yeah, that's what they've been for the last 27 years, basically, is divisional and out. Yeah, I'll let Nick go after this, and I'll just quickly say, like I said, they're not content. Once Trevon Diggs went down, the season was done. So
yeah, I completely agree with B, and Q makes some valid points too. I don't want to say pretenders. Because at one point you could definitely see them flip a switch and then they turn into contenders. So they're really just back to back. They're right, not back to back. They're right in the middle of being a contender or being a pretender. So it's really hard. Like Q said, if they make a move at the trade deadline, like y'all was talking about, they go out and get a Patrick Surtain or something like that. But if they don't do something like that, then
they're cooked.
They're 100% cooked. Yeah, I love the Derrick Henry move, but still, that helps out your offense a lot. But the defense, take advantage of. And also, you have the real crux of the issue. Who I thought he wouldn't be able to fuck it up because there's just so much talent, but he found a way to fight, and that's Mike McCarthy.
And it also sucks because you thought Brandon Cooks was going to be this secondary guy, and he's really
but that again, that has more to do with Mike McCarthy not using him correctly.
That's true,
and not trusting Dak to threaten the defense deep. He just doesn't trust Dak. He doesn't because of what he got convinced off of last year is what Dak is. That's what Mike McCarthy
never the case.
That's what I'm saying. But Mike got convinced that, oh shit, this is the real Dak, a turnover-prone guy, and this is Dak, right? And we got to start running the football more and protecting Dak with play action and throwing it shorter and running the ball more. You missed the boat, man. That's why you suck in the fucking red zone. You can't score in the goddamn red zone because you don't trust Dak, so you just hand it off to Tony Pollard. He doesn't get as many yards, and then you're kicking field goals.
You see what a bad season can do to players. Dak was never, ever, ever known as a turnover guy, ever. He has a top 10 interception percentage of all time, meaning he don't throw the ball away. That's just never. Maybe he threw a lot of interceptions last year because I don't know. He had a thumb injury in his throwing hand. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. We watched Aaron Rodgers last year with an injured thumb, and it was less worse. Play bad for a 6-week stretch, but we're not gonna get that excuse. He just threw the ball away. And I watched back all interceptions that he threw, 5 of them literally were bouncing off CeeDee Lamb's hands. If you take away those 5, he has 10. That's pretty much average for Dak Prescott. That's cool. If you look at everybody that throws the ball in the league and throws it at the volume that he does, 10 interceptions is pretty common. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, they're throwing 13, 14 interceptions a year. Josh Allen, that's common. If you're throwing the ball that much, it's
Josh
cool.
Allen at like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
No, never. Never has that. That just never happened either.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Josh Allen's a turnover guy. Josh Allen's a turnover guy.
He fumbles.
No, but combined.
Nah, but he's been cleaning up the fumble issue. It's the turnover. It's the interception.
The interception number. It's about the same as Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and everybody else.
Yeah, but giving the ball away is giving the ball away, and he gives the ball away at the highest level.
He's asked to do the most on an offense. He's asked to be
absolutely
the best thrower and the best runner on a team. So if I'm gonna have to run, of course Lamar Jackson does the same thing. He fumbles the ball 2 times a game. I'm a Ravens fan, but we don't give that knock to him. It's just since it's Josh Allen, we're gonna just say it's Josh Allen. If you're good, you're fumbling the ball.
But Lamar doesn't throw the same amount of interceptions as Josh Allen. And
I
know he's not asked.
And I know he's
not asked to throw as much. But I'm just saying he's not a turnover guy in terms of the interceptions. But I think that's
because he doesn't throw the ball as much.
No, I just gave you that point, Nick. I just gave you that point, but he did. All right, but he did throw. Hold on. He did in his MVP season throw 30. What was it? 36 or 38 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
38.
That's pretty fucking good to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I know he didn't throw a lot, but I'm just saying that touchdown to interception ratio is pretty damn good to me. But I'm giving you that point, but I'm also saying in terms of those guys fumbling it a lot more, it has more to do with those guys believe in themselves so much that they take the contact and they take unnecessary hits and fumble the football instead of just getting down or getting out of bounds. They're starting to do that more. Josh Allen, I saw that last night. He slid instead of, just trying to force some things, and that's just playing smart football. It really is. It helps your team out a lot more. But I think so we're all in agreement the Cowboys are not contenders. Q's a tad higher, but